You are an easy spook.
What do you want?
Any plans for the Turkey Day?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that this year.
Oh, you're a veggie eater.
No.
So what? Did your balls drop off?
Do you know the true history behind Thanksgiving?
Yeah. In 1621, friendly Indians welcomed the Pilgrims to the shores of America, where they worked together, were friends, and had a turkey feast. The end.
And you believe that?
Why not?
So the Native Americans just gave their land to the Pilgrims,
Why not?
willfully choosing to be colonized.
Why do I have the strangest feeling you're about to ruin my day? And here we go.
The 1621 gathering, the one iconically referenced in every textbook, the Wampanoags and the Pilgrims did have a feast,
Ah, so there is truth.
but it was in celebration of the end of a successful harvest. It wasn't a Thanksgiving.
Still a kind gesture.
But it wasn't planned though. In celebration, the Pilgrims were firing off their guns, and the Wampanoags thought there was a war, so they came to check it out. That's how the Wampanoags got there. But when they discovered that there was no war and they were just celebrating, Wampanoags kind of stayed behind to eat. So technically, the Pilgrims never even invited the Wampanoags.
Well, they still broke bread at the table.
They didn't though. The Europeans sat at the table, as it was their custom while eating, and the Wampanoags sat on the floor, as it was their custom while eating. So technically, they never dined at the table together.
So tell me, why the hell do we consider that to be the first Thanksgiving?
Over 2 centuries later, in 1841, Reverend Alexander Young, a well-known Unitarian minister, came across a letter written by Edward Winslow.
Yeah?
Edward Winslow was a pilgrim at the harvest celebration in 1621, and his letter recounted the event of the Pilgrims and Native Americans eating that day.
Uh-huh.
So Reverend Alexander Young took that letter and coupled it with other historical documents and presented that letter as an account of the first Thanksgiving of New England.
But it wasn't.
Correct, but once word got around, it spread, and that event eventually became known as the history of Thanksgiving. I hope I didn't lose you.
No, we follow. So there was never really an actual Thanksgiving feast.
No, there was.
I'm confused.
The Pilgrims did have a feast where they gave thanks.
Okay, with the Indians.
No, the Indians were not at the Thanksgivings.
Why?
Because the Europeans had just slaughtered them.
Sorry?
No, they were not.
Wait. So Pilgrims had a feast of thanks after unaliving indigenous tribes.
Yes, normally following brutal victories over Native Americans, Pilgrims would have huge Thanksgiving feasts, like the Pequot Massacre of 1636, or the of Wampanoag leader Metacom in 1676. This was the foundation of Thanksgiving feast.
I lost my appetite.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Good day.
I didn't mean to. I was just trying to help.
There's always Christmas.
Yeah. It's always Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving.